No, Mom, I have not been smoking. You know I don't do drugs. It's just from the weekend. Oh, no, I'm not doing drugs on the weekend. It's from playing FIFA. There's a special game mode. It's very competitive. No, it's called FUT Champs. FUT Champs, and it gives me the eyes. That's what it is. Or sometimes editing eyes. It's not... No, I'm not smoking and playing FIFA. That's not what I said. What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike, and after the weekend league, my eyes, they just don't look the same. But today, myself and Ovi, we're bringing out a video that you've requested. You want to know how to close out matches, how to win in FUT Champions. And I told you at the beginning of the year, you would need to master at least 2 formations, preferably a narrow and a wide formation. And myself and Ovi, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're looking at the 4-2-3-1, and I'm going to talk about both variations because I think they each have a lot of value. And it's just a matter of which fits you best. And when I'm ahead in a game, maybe 2-goal lead, or if I just want to switch the tempo, I'm definitely going to make a swap in terms of formations. Just as your opponent, if he's chasing the match, he's probably going to go more attacking. And if you enjoy the content, please drop a thumbs up, share it with your friends, get the word out there. You don't need to hoe out the game. You don't need to park the bus. You just have to be a little more under control. And myself and Ovi are going to discuss that. And if you want to see the best tactics, as well as the best instructions for these formations, make sure to head on over to Ovi's channel. I'm going to leave a link to his video at the top of the description as well as in the comments. Make sure to go over there and hit him with like a hashtag keep it dirty. If you need cheap codes or cheap games, head on over to G2A. Use dirty at checkout. Get that cash back discount. Oh yeah. We got Team of the Year around the corner. I've got gameplay on display. And these matches were actually played against a couple of my subscribers. We're looking at games against Scav and Deo, both in Division 1, both guys that take part in FUT Champs. And I wanted to maneuver around a little bit, have some good competition. You guys see me playing friendlies. I'm not just playing random matches or single matches online. That's not what I'm doing. But many people ask to play me in FIFA, and that's a humbling request, to be honest, as often as I get that asked. And I try to play people as much as I can. And if we're looking at pros, I want to start out with the balance and the speed of play with using the 4-2-3-1. And it doesn't matter which variation. I'm going to talk about the wide and I'm going to talk about the narrow, but they have very similar features. There's only one difference, and it's just the width involved in the wingers. But let's talk about the narrow first, and then I'm going to talk about the wide version. But first off, it's the balance, it's the speed of play. You can either go fast or you can go slow. It's a beautiful thing. And then you have control in the match. And that's what I talked about when you're closing out a game. It's not how well can you run the line. How well can you park the bus? Do you go to a custom formation? How well can I move the ball around with possession? It's not all about that. You still want to be able to produce attacks and be efficient. Because when you start to get pinned back into your own box, that's not good. You're going to concede goals. It's just going to happen, especially as you get to the upper echelon of FUT Champs. And this could be the difference between you getting 25 wins, 30 wins, 30 to 35 wins, 35 wins and up. It's always the small intricacies or the small adjustments that kind of knock you up the next level. And then the defensive shape in the 4-2-3-1 is beautiful. Oh, it's magnificent. Maybe the best in terms of organic shape with the 2 CDMs that have free roam and then the back line. It's just a good look. Very natural spacing. And you have wing play whether you're playing the narrow variation or the wide variation. Let me explain why. If you've never used the 4-2-3-1, and it's always a big-time foundation of the competitive scene. Every tournament you go to, people will play the 4-2-3-1. Guaranteed. I can put a house on it. It's just such a consistent formation. And if you're playing the narrow 4-2-3-1, that left center attacking mid and that right center attacking mid, both of those guys, they go out wide. They don't sit stuck in the middle like a 4-1-2-1-2, the narrow variation, the second one. They don't do that. They will spurt out wide. And then the difference when you're looking at the wide variation is, of course, they're going to almost hug the touch line. And it's really good for pressing, actually. It might even be better for pressing if you're looking to still be up in your opponent's face. Maybe you're going against someone who is using the 4-3-3 and they're trying to go wing, 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 wing. If you go with the wide 4-2-3-1, you can very much so spread them. And when you're looking at cons, a lot of people could get predictable. When you're attacking, you don't have as many options. Maybe you don't have the maximum creativity, or maybe you're just not that creative of a player. And this will showcase that you're not. It's not going to do as much for you with some of the tiki-taka. I still think that it has a very fluent attack, but I can understand the predictable aspect, because when I go up against people that are also using the 4-2-3-1, that's one problem. And the other issue is you only have that one striker. You're basically trading a striker for a CDM, so it's more defensive. But when you do that, you have to rely heavily on that one striker. So is he going to be a speedster? Is he going to be able to hold up the play? Does he have a little bit of everything? And that's where you have to ask yourself, will this work for me? Who's the right man for the job? Of course, if you have Ronaldo, Ronaldo will always fill this void here, fill this role. And your cams or your outside mids, they need to be supportive. They have to be involved in the attack if you're using this formation. But in my opinion, it's the best to close out a game. It gives you a little bit of everything while improving your defense. And you don't have to, I can't stress this enough, you don't have to change everything you're doing. You can still attack, you can still defend, you can still hold the ball and possess and do all the great things that are involved in FIFA versus, oh, I'm just going to stick everybody back there. Oh, I'm just going to hope that they don't score. Man, I hope he doesn't get lucky. And that's just not a good mindset if you really want to do well in FUT Champs. I understand there's plenty of hoes, but a lot of the hoes don't post the best records. When you look at the top 50 and FUT Champs, a lot of them are not hoe players. They might have some hoe tendencies. This is sounding like a rap video, but they're definitely not parking the bus or doing the high press counter entire matches. It's just not in their arsenal. Or at the end of matches, they're not. Nah, people aren't doing that. It might be frustrating to go against, but it's just not in the best interest if you're a lot better than your opposition. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a thumbs up. Head on over to Ovi's channel and show him some love. Hit him with the Keep It Dirty. He just dropped the best instructions and tactics regarding both 4-2-3-1 variations in terms of closing out a match. I'm about to go over there myself. But until next time, peace.